It's important to address the misconception that Drake dropped his petition against iHeartMedia because there was no wrongdoing. In reality, Drake's legal team was seeking key documents and information that could potentially show the connection between iHeart and UMG. These documents could prove whether iHeart was receiving payments from UMG, which might affect the integrity of their dealings. The idea that the petition was dropped simply because of a lack of merit oversimplifies the situation and overlooks the complexities of the case. Another critical aspect of the case involves the FCC, which had been investigating iHeartMedia over accusations of payola. This investigation holds significant weight as the FCC has authority to probe such matters. The involvement of the FCC likely played a role in how the situation was resolved, making it clear that it wasn't just about Drake's legal team and iHeartMedia. It was about a larger regulatory body examining potential violations within the industry. It's essential to look at the industry's dynamics, such as radio play and label support, how that impacts an artist's performance on the charts. For example, Drake's songs Give Me a Hug and Nokia recently fell off the Billboard Hot 100's top 10. A major factor in this decline could be lack of radio play and label support. Radio play is crucial for the chart performance, and when key stations aren't giving enough attention to an artist, it directly impacts their visibility. The broader industry context explains why certain songs might not perform as well despite an artist's high profile status. Be sure to stay tapped in with the channel as we keep you in the loop. Again, here we global.
Reports that there was an alleged settlement, but that is not what happened.
What happened?
Well, we know nobody cares about the truth and the lie is more entertaining, but I need DJ Akademiks and all the Drake fan pages to gather around.
Hold up. I know I was mentioned. What the fuck?
To get the truth regardless.
Okay?
The
facts.
It's simple. What Drake filed against iHeart wasn't a lawsuit. What he filed was a petition.
Yes.
And it was a petition to try to make iHeart give a deposition. So Drake wasn't asking for money. He was asking for information. Right. So iHeart could not have made a payment. iHeart couldn't.
Now, Mr. Charla, since you called for the king, you have gotten the king. I'm very aware this is a petition. Also, before you report on this, we also have to remind everyone that Charlamagne works for the Breakfast Club, which is owned solely by iHeartMedia. You get what I'm saying? It's like basically saying Akademiks TV on Twitter tweeted out some shit about me, and it's like, well, who owns it? Me. You get what I'm saying? Hey, the point is, we also have to consider this source, but I will give the actual understanding of what this is, and let me just keep going. But I'm only responding since, when you call for the king do step up.
Make iHeart give a deposition. So Drake wasn't asking for money. He was asking for information. Right. So iHeart could not have made a payment. iHeart could negotiate to give Drake documents or something else showing they didn't do anything wrong. And once Drake received those documents and saw that there was nothing there, he could agree to drop his petition. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, he simply dropped his petition because after he saw what he needed to see, he realized iHeart was not engaged in any of the actions that he was accusing them of.
That's very incorrect, and I'll explain afterwards.
End of story. And I know Drake fan pages won't run with that because it's not as entertaining as saying, iHeart settled Drake for money, and Drake was right all along. But
I'm also not sitting here to say Drake was right all along.
No, your guy Drake simply dropped the lawsuit or dropped the petition because there was nothing there.
No, that's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true. And again, Charlotte is my guy, so we're speaking very civilly here. I respect him, but let's really put this on the table, okay? And this is not a. I feel like I'm using political words when I'm talking about hip hop because fan groups are so divided. So you have Kendrick fans that want to hear one thing, you have Drake fans that want to hear one thing, and I'm just here to just tell you like it is. The reality of that petition is that Drake was asking iHeart for information and for maybe documents or maybe payments that could prove that they were, getting paid by Universal. Now, here's the very facts that Charlamagne is admitting that I'm going to tell you. Again, none of this is coming from Drake, by the way. None of this is coming from OVO. This is coming from just anyone with fucking common sense. It is completely illegal for any radio station to take monetary payments to promote or play songs in a rhythmic capacity. So what does that mean? If I'm over here doing some underhanded shit underneath the table and you sue me and say, could you give me the proof? You think I'm going to give you the proof? Only an idiot would do that. So the reality of payola, which, by the way, the FCC has busted iHeart or other entities that have operated because they have these radio licenses, which they're using public airwaves. They've been busted for payola or doing things multiple times in the long storied history of radio broadcasting. But I'll digress on that. The point is this. You're not going to ask iHeart, could you tell us how you're getting payola? And they're going to be like, oh, here's exactly how we're doing it. Nobody does that, right? So Drake asking was really just a formality. Really was just trying to get them to do a deposition. They were never going to give Drake documents and say, hey, we did get mad money, and of course we use that as incentive to play knowledge. They were never going to do that. By the way, what I'm explaining has nothing to do with Not Like Us. I just want to explain how this looks on a legal front. And I would challenge whether it's Lauren LaRosa, Charlamagne, or whoever else, including their source at the Breakfast Club. I think I'm a pretty knowledgeable person. I'm sorry. I might be the smartest cookie if I was in that room. I'm only speaking about what the law is, right? So payola is clearly illegal. No company is going to say, here's the files. We're doing illegal shit. That's basically saying, like, that's all type of antitrust violations and also all type of violations about payola. iHeart would be just getting reamed through. They'll be getting ran through, by the feds. They're not going to give up to a rapper. Oh, yeah, of course we're taking mad money. That's a crime. So he was never going to get that. Here's the real reason why it was actually dropped. And, of course, iHeart's going to send out their statement through their own company or their own subsidiary, The Breakfast Club, but it didn't absolve iHeart. Drake dropped it because he realizes, number one, he ain't going to get much from the company. They're not going to snitch on themselves. What actually happened is that the FCC is probing iHeart. So because Drake's civil lawsuit, he could only do so much. He could subpoena certain shit, but he can't do that much, even if it's approved by a judge, because who's going to snitch on themselves? Here's the difference. When the FCC, the federal, I'm forgetting what FCC stands for. FCC, what it stands for. Okay, the Federal Communications Commission. I was thinking about FTC, Federal Trade Commission, but Federal Communications Commission. They have the legal authority to do an invasive research and also investigation about iHeart because they're the people who actually govern and they monitor that radio license or the license to operate on government airwaves, that's exactly what they broadcast the signals of iHeart, whether it's Power 105.